walks the deepest woods when no one's watching? What leaves behind giant footprints, but never a body? For centuries, whispers have echoed from the dark corners of North America's ancient forests, telling tales of a creature that exists just on the edge of our reality. This is the story of Bigfoot, the ghost in our woods. Our journey begins in the vast, untamed wilderness that stretches from the Pacific Northwest all the way to the dense forests of the East Coast. These aren't just any woods. They are ancient, mysterious, and so immense that millions of acres remain unexplored by human eyes. It's in these places, far from our cities and towns, that the legend of Sasquatch was born. For generations, people have reported seeing something they can't explain, a large, ape-like figure moving silently through the trees. It's a story passed down through countless eyewitness accounts, a modern myth that refuses to fade away. Is it a misidentified bear? A collective delusion? Or is something truly out there, watching us from the shadows? The question isn't just whether Bigfoot exists, but why the story has such a powerful hold on our imagination. What is it about the idea of a giant, undiscovered primate roaming our continent that captivates us so completely? Let's venture into the heart of this mystery and examine the evidence that has fueled the search for decades. The year is 1967. In a remote corner of Northern California, two men, Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, are riding on horseback through the Bluff Creek area. Suddenly, their horses rear up, spooked by something near the creek bed. Patterson grabs his 16mm camera and starts filming. What he captures becomes the single most famous and controversial piece of evidence in the history of Bigfoot research. The Patterson-Gimlin film. The footage, just under a minute long, shows a tall, bipedal creature covered in dark fur walking away from the camera. Before it disappears into the trees, it turns its head and looks directly back at them. The figure is powerful, with a distinct, fluid gait. Its arms swing, its muscles ripple. It walks like us, but it isn't us. Experts have analyzed this film frame by frame for over 50 years. Some say it's clearly a person in a costume, pointing to supposed inconsistencies in the fur or the way it walks. But others, including primate specialists and special effects artists, have argued the opposite. They claim the anatomy, the muscle movement, and the sheer scale of the creature would be incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to fake with the technology available in 1967. The film remains unexplained, a visual enigma at the center of the Bigfoot legend. But the film isn't the only piece of physical evidence. Across the continent, thousands of footprint casts have been collected. These aren't just random marks in the mud. Many of them show incredible detail. Dermal ridges, just like the ones on our own hands and feet, and a unique mid-tarsal break, a flexibility in the middle of the foot that's found in apes but not in humans. The consistency of these tracks, found in remote locations miles apart and years apart, is staggering. They tell a story of a large, heavy biped with a foot anatomy unlike any known animal. Are they all elaborate hoaxes? Or are they the literal footsteps of a creature we have yet to officially discover? The evidence for Bigfoot isn't just visual. It's also auditory. In the early 1970s, in the Sierra Nevada mountains, a group of researchers recorded a series of strange, guttural sounds that have since become famous as the Sierra Sounds. These recordings capture what sound like multiple creatures communicating with each other through a complex series of whoops, whistles, growls, and what some have described as a form of language. Audio analysts have studied these tapes extensively. They concluded the vocalizations are not from any known animal. The pitch and power are beyond human capability, and the patterns suggest an intelligence that is hard to dismiss as random animal noise. These sounds add another layer to the mystery, painting a picture of a social creature communicating in the dead of night. Beyond the physical traces and audio recordings are the people who have come face to face with the legend. The witnesses aren't just lone hikers making up stories. They include hunters, seasoned woodsmen, police officers, and even park rangers, people who know the forest and its inhabitants better than anyone. They describe a creature that is shy, intelligent, and powerful. They speak of an overwhelming sense of being watched, of strange smells, and of rocks being thrown from unseen sources. What's even more compelling is that these modern accounts echo stories that are much, much older. Many Native American and First Nations cultures have legends of a wild man of the woods, a giant hairy being that lives deep in the mountains. These stories, which predate the name Bigfoot by centuries, describe a creature remarkably similar to the one reported today. They are a part of a cultural tradition, not a modern media sensation, suggesting that encounters with this creature may be as old as human presence on the continent itself. Of course, with a mystery this big, there's a healthy dose of skepticism. For many in the scientific community, the question is simple: where is the proof? For a species of large primate to exist in North America, we would expect to find more than just footprints and grainy films. We would expect to find bodies, bones, or definitive DNA. After more than half a century of dedicated searching, not a single bone or tooth has ever been officially attributed to Bigfoot. This lack of a type, specimen, a body to study is the biggest hurdle for researchers. How could a population of giant apes live, breed, and die in our own backyard without leaving a single corpse behind? Skeptics argue that the forests, while vast, are not infinite, and a creature of that size would have been found by now, either by a hunter, a hiker, or even a car. Then there's the problem of hoaxes. Over the years, countless people have faked footprints, photos, and even videos for attention or money. These hoaxes do incredible damage. They muddy the waters, making it harder for serious researchers to be taken seriously and giving skeptics a reason to dismiss all evidence as fraudulent. Every time a hoax is exposed, it casts a shadow of doubt over every legitimate report, making the search for the truth that much harder. So, with compelling stories on one side and a glaring lack of hard proof on the other, why do so many of us still believe? Why does the legend of Bigfoot endure? First, there's the sheer scale of the wilderness. It's easy to underestimate just how much of North America remains truly wild and uninhabited. There are millions of acres of dense forest, rugged mountains, and impenetrable swamps where a creature could easily remain hidden from us. Second, the consistency of the sightings is hard to ignore. From Florida to Washington state, people who have never met and have nothing to gain are describing the exact same thing: a tall, hairy, bipedal ape-like creature that is curious but elusive. The sheer volume and similarity of these reports make it difficult to dismiss them all as mistakes or lies. But maybe there's a deeper reason we're drawn to this mystery. In a world that feels increasingly mapped, measured, and explained, perhaps we need there to be something left undiscovered. The idea that a giant, unknown creature could still be roaming the woods connects us to a sense of wonder and possibility. It reminds us that the world is still full of secrets. This brings us to the ultimate question: is Bigfoot real, or do we just need him to be? Is the search for Bigfoot a hunt for an actual animal, or is it a quest for the last remnants of mystery in our modern world? The truth, for now, remains hidden in the shadows of the deep woods. Whether Bigfoot is a flesh and blood primate, a collective myth, or something else entirely, the story continues to challenge our understanding of the world around us. So the next time you find yourself walking a quiet trail deep in the forest, take a moment, look a little closer at that strange track in the mud. Listen a little harder to that branch that snaps in the distance. You never know what might be watching from just beyond the trees. What do you think is out there? Is Bigfoot a truth waiting to be discovered, or a tale we tell ourselves around the campfire? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you love exploring the world's greatest mysteries, make sure to subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.